Hello. Good morning, good evening, friends. This is Yonks with Token Summit DAO, and we are very quickly approaching February 22nd, where we are proclaiming National DAO Day. And this is now working group number 9. We've been doing 2 working groups on a weekly basis. This one is our Retoken community takeover here. This is normally our community call, Retoken the real estate DAO, but we are focused on delivering this virtual event, which still is on our roadmap for 2022, Q1. And we've got a lot of agenda. Before we hop into the agenda, just going to go down the list, not in any particular order. Mrs. Yonks, thank you for co-hosting here tonight. Amy Blursday, Julie, and Jay-Z. So let's get going here. We've been doing a lot of things, and let's hop right into the agenda over here. So first thing, and this is Notion. This is the space where we're doing all on this is where we're organizing all of the information here as far as for this particular project. And we actually have the agenda linked on whatever live stream that you were watching or the replay here. That's this page right here. And first item on the agenda. So I was seeing a question here from Blursday as far as getting some background on what we were trying to do with Dework integration with HAL. It's not actually Dework integration. We're giving you a bounty there, Blurs, for setting up the HAL XYZ Discord integration. And let me actually show, and we'll actually be going through that here because we're going to be creating our second snapshot proposal. That'll be the next thing. So we'll actually get to see this, the HAL XYZ. But let me, the first thing that we're going to do, and this was, Mrs. Yonks and I on another channel, we actually hosted a demo call with OpenDAO and Lannis from Dework the other day. And we started using this tool. This was something that we agreed to start using just literally on our last working group. And here is the Dework.xyz homepage. And for those that have used Trello, and we do use Trello, I'll show you here, especially since this is the Retoken community call takeover. Here is the board that we get all the things done at Retoken. And it's a high degree of probability that we will start using this for doing bounties at Retoken, because this Dework tool is pretty fabulous. And one of the things that I enjoy it as far as the compensation capabilities. And let's go ahead and open the app here for Dework. And so this is what it looks like when you log in. I've already set up my account here. And these are some of the spaces or project organizations that I favorited. And here is Token Summit DAO. And we have 3 projects in play right now. We've got the one for DAO Day 2/22/22 coming up right around the corner on February 22nd, and then Token Summit 622, and then in October. So we're looking on doing this virtual event on 3 times a year, February, June, and October. So let's go ahead and create this bounty right now. And so what we're doing, Blurs, is that we're providing some retroactive bounties here, like for Dax, he did the collab land bot configuration, and this is something. So we're wanting to provide a bounty for you, and then also for getting that set up. And let me actually show the Discord channel here. Let me enable streamer mode. And I saw that we had Rosetta join. Welcome, Rosetta. Always enjoy hanging out with you here on the live stream. So doing some fun stuff here today, learning a new tool. And let's see, let me turn on the streamer mode.
Okay, yeah, so I'm sorry. If I be, if you want, I could walk through how I set it up if that's what you want or whatever.
Yeah, no.
Let me know
if you want to do that. Let me actually get this bounty created, and then I'll hand it over to you so that you can do the screen share, because I think that would be absolutely fabulous. Because I haven't seen this utilized in a lot of other places, and one of the things too that we'll also show, we have started using a forum a little bit, but not really a whole lot as far as from a workflow standpoint right now. But I'm sure that will come up more, because we'll probably, when we get a better regular cadence as far as our DAO governance process, the tip check process, instead of doing that via a Discord sesh poll like what we've been doing, we'll probably move that to the forum. But anyway, let me go ahead and show the channel here for DAO governance, and this is the Token Summit DAO Discord, and I hope anybody that is interested in this project, and that's one of the things too, want to take a pause real quick, because I think that this is something that we could do a little bit more regularly, is invite everybody to get on board here with helping us build this virtual summit dynamic. And for people that are contemplating becoming Web3 professionals or working in DAOs, the great dynamic about this is that you'll have a lot of exposure to various DAOs. And as you can see here, we ourselves are at the bleeding edge of some of the DAO tooling. How long did Lana say that this Dework bounty board has been in place? Was it like 8 weeks there, Tyler?
Yeah, 8 weeks. And he's running this incredible Discord community where everybody can pop in and say, here's my user experience, A should be B, or you should add feature C or whatever. And so they're just improving it on the fly. And it's just so exciting to be part of a project that you're talking to the top people, and they are so open to, they're not married to anything that they have, and they just want to make this tool as functional as possible. So he's a great guy. We really enjoyed hanging out with him.
Yeah, for sure. And like, as much as I've enjoyed using Notion, I was starting to have some concerns as far as just from a simplicity standpoint, the utilizing Notion for a very important component like completion of tasks. And already showed Trello here, huge fans of Trello, but Trello is not a Web3 native solution. When we say Web3, that means like with a like MetaMask is the wallet that we utilize ourselves, and it's just so easy, and it's got a very large user base. It is there on Ethereum, but we do most of the building of stuff here on Ethereum. So anyway, this voting proposals, this is the channel here where this Discord integration, the Howbot, and then if you wanted to, Blurs, are you ready to do the screen share? Or actually, before we do that, let me finish this task here real quick. So this is what I was wanting to do here, was to create a task, and we're going to call this setup how.xyz Discord. Let's see. What do we want? How integration with snapshot.org for Discord and Twitter. So, and we'll do, and we're going to do two tasks. We're going to do like, because you already did the Discord integration and then Twitter. And that's one of the things that's pretty fabulous about this tool too, is that you can have, again, multiple tasks. Like Mrs. Yonks and I, we did a live stream earlier today, and I'll come back to that if I remember, but I'm going to go ahead and make Blur's Day the assignee for both of these tasks. And this is Discord, and this is like integration, and then we'll do snapshot.org, and then we'll also do hal.xyz. And this is just some taxonomy there within. And one of the things that's pretty fabulous about this, we don't necessarily need to do that with this one, but we do have the opportunity of making this an open bounty. This board itself, this project is currently publicly visible, and we do have it configured for anybody that holds our social token TS DAO can automatically join the board. And then if it's an open bounty, that allows somebody externally to submit some work on this as well. So here's this task, and we're gonna call this 2 task points, and we're gonna pay this via Polygon, and we're gonna do 10,000, and token is TS DAO. So it's a pretty easy dynamic. We're gonna create this. And then I'm going to hand the screen sharing over to Blurs, and he's going to show us how that this is done for us. So I'm going to stop my share, make you a, I don't know if you need to be a co-host. Blurs,
I don't need to. You just need to stop your share, and then I can.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if I'm a co-host, I can just steal it from you. That's the only difference. Okay,
Perfect.
Let's make sure. Okay, screen share. All right, everyone. Okay, we got, I got dog playing her little ducky on my lap. And all right, so I won't go through the full process of the HAL thing. There's a lot of doxing and keys and stuff that you'll see, but eventually you set up your account and everything, and you'll get in there. There's a whole bunch of options you can do, but I've already dove into the snapshot option. So HAL 9000XYZ snapshot. So we want to follow new proposal. So I'm going to click use recipe, and then all the proposals, I mean all the snapshots that are on the on snapshot are searchable here. You can scroll through them. Good luck. You're better off just doing start typing, and there's token Summit. And then the only useful one, at least for us, is for when the proposal is created. And then you have several options here. You can send an email, post to Discord. So not only, I mean, can we do this and do it for our Discord, but you could set this up for yourself for any of your snapshots that you follow and get notified accordingly. You could even have your own little private Telegram to get snapshots and so on. And if you're more advanced, you could do a webhook and integrate it with Integramat or something like that. But for us, we're just going to post it to Discord. So I click there. This is the sample message here, and then these are the parameters that would be filled in with each one. And then now here is where you have the webhook URL. And so, and then we'd want to send it to voting proposals. So you need to have some sort of administrative access to your Discord to do this. So you just go to edit channel, integrations, and then you would create the webhook here, new webhook, blah, blah, blah. You could say I already have it here. I would copy the webhook URL. And I'm not going to do that because it would reveal the secret token here. And then I'd paste it here, and then I could post a test message, and that's what we see here. So we haven't done any proposals yet, but you could verify that the snapshot bot worked here. And that's really all there is to it. But just a little shout out for HAL. Their website is a little old school. They are well aware of it. There are a bunch of bugs with it. They are revealing a new version of this to help fix all these issues. So, and their their Telegram is very supportive. They're very responsive. So I highly recommend them. I have not seen, some people have mentioned, I think there was something else as a replacement. It's not all inclusive, and I can't remember the name right now, but this is it's a pretty solid platform. Just for other folks who are going through these, if you do Twitter, you will get some weird errors if your message is greater than 144 characters now, or 140. So you have to pare this down. If you leave this as a default, it won't work, and you'll wonder why. And the reason is because your message is too long and it doesn't throw an error properly, and they are working on that. So that's all I got. Any questions?
No, thanks for that. That's absolutely fabulous. So do we have the Twitter one in place now? Because that's the next thing on our agenda here is to actually create this snapshot proposal. So we'll get to see this in action.
We do not. That's going to take, I won't be able to do it in the dead air between then and now. So we'll take that offline.
Sounds good. And let me grab the screen share back here because I'll show you and everybody else here as far as this card. So here's the one. We're going to actually move it over here to in progress. And I think that this one is actually done, correct? It'll be a Discord integration blurs. All right. So one of the things that the way that I understand this, I think that we could potentially pay that. I'm not going to worry about that, but did an airdrop the other night with these tasks over here in this done column. It was an absolutely fabulous dynamic. And one of the things that since we're talking about bounties, one of the things that had talked about and we are using Coordinate too, but with how easy that this is as far as the bounty, I'm wondering, and I still don't know if it's worth doing or not. I do like the providing the token incentive for participation on things like these live streams, because I do think that they're very valuable, and then the opportunity to engage and learn and feedback. So the question is, do we want to try it out and then for things like our working groups and see if it makes sense to do a bounty here? If it's too much work, I'm gonna be the first one to say, hey, let's just stick to the Coordinate stuff. But just talking out loud here, what do you all think?
I think I misunderstood. Are you saying that we should claim bounties for attending working groups or claim bounties instead of doing Coordinate?
No, I want to do Coordinate as well, because there's a lot of just random stuff that is getting done. I mean, like facilitating, like scheduling the working groups is some effort. That's something that have gotten fairly dialed in, but would still like to get that automated. But no, the question is like, if it's something, should we try for, like right now, like we could have a task for participating in the working group here. This is working group number 9, and then pay out on that. But I don't know if it'd be worth it. I'm just wondering, because if we don't do that, there's not going to be any designated tokens for participating here. And on that note too, I'll digress into Coordinate. This is the first week that we have our epoch, epic, whatever you want to call it, online. And let's see if I'm logged in here. I am not. So let me grab this. Too many passwords. That's why we use LastPass. Huge fans of LastPass. Quick plug for LastPass. There might be some other solutions, but it's one that we've been using for a while. So here is my profile on Coordinate, and we are operating under 3Win DAO, and this is the Token Summit DAO Circle. So if you're not in this, we have a vouching mechanism where we can add you. And I think that there might be a couple people. I don't think we've got Rosetta, and I think I just saw Teresa pop in here too. But anybody that is wanting to participate in the Coordinate, we have this vouching mechanism that we can add people. That's kind of a fun permissionless dynamic. We can talk more about that offline. But this is like where here on the epic statement here, this is where you put in like what you've been working on and stuff like that. So Like this is some of the stuff here that I put in for the first epic statement: setting up initial DAO framework and tooling, demo meetings with event technology platforms, hosted working groups via live stream. And that's just an example. Don't want to spend that much time talking about coordinate. If there's a need, we can spend more time on Sunday for our next working group. So if that's something that you would like to dig a little bit deeper in, ping us, myself or Mrs. Yonks, and we can allocate some more time on the agenda. Coming back to Dework, did anybody have any questions here on Dework? I know that Jay-Z, and I wanted to, again, I think this is something that Mrs. Yonks wanted to recognize Jay-Z for creating this fabulous one-pager here. And this is something that we already paid out. And you can see one of the things that's really cool about this is you can open here and it'll take you, it's got a direct integration as far as being able to quickly see the transaction on the block explorer here, polygonscan.com. So that's another cool thing. So any thoughts or feedback? Again, thanks Jay-Z for the one pager here. That was just one example of some bounties that paid out here on the airdrop last night. No worries. Sorry your audio is not working, Jay-Z. Again, thanks for all that you're doing for our community here. So we'll be talking more about this Dework. This is one that Tyler and I just did earlier today, meet the speakers. And this is one of the, I think, maybe more unique content pieces, and we like to be kind of creative. We're not sure how that this will gain some traction or how that this will be received by speakers or potential speakers, but the idea is to have a very brief clip, and when I say brief, like a 15-minute slice of time, and 10 minutes of that will be via a live stream. And it's just kind of a more in-depth way of really getting to know who will be speakers. Because like most times when you're looking at an event, you just get like a little paragraph as far as a blurb. And this is a fun way too that we can really engage the speakers. Because like one of the things that we have in our tokenomics here, and this is again, we've got this tokenomics page. I'll make this bigger here so everybody can see it. And this is again our Notion page. And what I'm talking about here, the tokenomics, this is the season 0 tokenomics. And we do have a slice, 25%, and that's 25% of the 5%. Like looking here at the seasons breakdown right here, like first 10 seasons, we're doing 5%. This is something that we spoke about. And the thing that's fabulous about this is that none of this stuff is set in stone right now. We've only budgeted 5% of our tokens for this first season, DAO Day coming up here. And one of the conversations that I had with Chris Carfi on this Meet the Speakers here today, and thank you again, Chris, if you do happen to watch the replay, for participating in that. It was absolutely fun. And this is again, like one of the things that mentioned to Chris is that we have the opportunity of having some conversations with the speakers as far as engaging them on the tokenomics. I don't know if that'll actually go anywhere or not, but that's one of the things that we haven't clearly identified. And it's fun to gamify things in the space. So I don't know, I guess right now would be a good opportunity to allow somebody to chime in some ideas. If anybody wants to throw something out there, we can take that offline. I don't want to allocate too much time, maybe a few minutes here for this, but any thoughts from anybody as far as some tokenomics for our speakers for this first event?
I've made a bunch of inquiries for the people that we need to fill the last few remaining slots. So we should have more on that soon. If any of you guys have any ideas, you are welcome to DM me those also. But yeah, we're shaping up to have a great agenda so far. I'm pretty excited. But yeah, just we should have a final agenda here shortly.
And I still need to make a few minor updates on this tokenomics, one of which is we didn't start coordinate. So that functionally just gives more pool for the bounty board, because that's basically this line here. And again, we were already showing the stuff on the bounty board. So using the new in there with Dework. So just wanted to do a quick plug on the tokenomics. And this is something that I'll probably going to do a forum post on the Token Engineering Commons. That's one of the communities that Mrs. Yonks and I have somewhat participated in a couple of their community calls, not real active there, but really love the very positive. They have a fabulous praise aspect. And that's one of the things that we need to do a better job at here in 2022 of doing more praise. So want to take a moment and just thank everybody for hanging out with us here tonight while we're all learning, but then moving along and getting things done for that. So that being said, let's go ahead. So we've got here, that was a long segment there. Let's go ahead and now create this snapshot proposal. So over here, and we already talked about snapshot a little bit, and you saw the behind the scenes of what it looked like there. And let me make it a little bit bigger. So when you connect your wallet there, like I just did, and this is a milestone here for Snapshot. They just exceeded 5,000 spaces. And to put a little bit of context to that, when a lot of us that are on this call here tonight started building Retoken DAO, and you can see that space over here, this was at 1.23K spaces. And that was like July, August of last year. So there's been a lot of growth here. And here we are, Token Summit DAO. That's the one that we're going to create the snapshot proposal here right now. And we'll get to see that functionality. And this is a very important one. This is one that we've had a decent amount of conversations on already. This is to create the Gnosis safe multi-sig wallets. And that's one of the reasons that wanted to do the airdrop last night was so that we can give some more people. When did the airdrop here after the Meet the Speakers with Chris from Unlock Protocol, that was the 20th holder, one of which is the hot wallet. So we hit another milestone there with 20 token holders. So here, this is the workflow that we're working on. This is actually the content calendar, and we do consider a snapshot proposal a piece of content. Not going to go into details on that. And one of the things that wanting to do too is, and this is an opportunity, and I'll come back to that later. Let's keep the dynamic going here for creating this. So this is something Mrs. Yonks grabbed a similar proposal, and then I went through and made some modifications to this and simplification a little bit. And this is what we've got here. So pretty simple overview. Gnosis Safe Multi-Sig Wallet for DAO Treasury Management is largely regarded as a DAO best practice, as indicated within TSIP, which is Token Summit Improvement Proposal number 1. We are committed to best practices, find, implement, evaluate, and refine. So here's the proposed Gnosis Safe Multi-Sig Treasury details. Looking at doing 2 safes. I'm not sure if we'll actually get the one set up here for Ethereum mainnet. That's a little bit lower of a priority. And again, this is just to create the proposal. So we're actually going to have this and we'll talk about that. So anyway, thanks everybody that raised their hands and said that they wanted to be on the multi-sig signers. We've got Dax, Amy, Blurs, eMoney 2Zips, Julie, Mrs. Yonks, White Hat, and myself. And the policies that we're going to put in place, so any of the transaction will require the confirmation of 5 out of 8 owners, and that can be updated in the future. And this is something that we will expect will be a function of our forthcoming board of stewards, and we'll be having more conversations about that after we deliver DAO Day. So implementation details: after creating the Matic safe, we will transfer the entire balance, what's in the hot wallet right now, on the Token Summit MetaMask. And I'm not sure if this is the correct, this might have went down a little bit. On the Token Summit hot wallet, this will likely occur on an upcoming working group, and probably on Sunday is when planning on having this proposal in. So any thoughts, concerns before we actually go through the process of creating the snapshot proposal on this proposal here, everybody?
That looks great.
Yeah, we've been talking about this one. This one's been a decent amount of coming, and again, was excited to get the airdrops all cut up last night to give more people the opportunity to vote on this. Because go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Did you already mention Collabland? How people get their role? I cut out for a minute here with the baby, but it's
not yet. And that's something that we can definitely do. Let's add that lower down on the list, because we're not doing a great job going through the agenda here. And I saw a comment in Blurs that the Twitter channel is set up for posting. So fabulous. We'll get to see this in full-blown action. So thanks you, Blurs.
Thanks for Blurs, and thanks, Julie, for the idea on that. That was great. Our working group, we get stuff done. Work happens right in the middle of our working group.
Oh my God, we're gonna test it live. Oh God.
Well, hey, if it doesn't, that's the way we roll around here, right? So and let's actually just do this real quick here. This will give you a little bit more juice on this board. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as done. And if you need to fix it later, then that's no problem. So let's move this to in review, and let's do the due date on this here for tonight. I don't know if that's really that important, but let's see. So it's in review, and then I click on, see the little approve button here. I click on approve, and there is, now this is like, we know you did the work. I mean, we watched it on the live stream, and as far as but like on the board or the task that I just showed you, this is where Jay-Z uploaded his work for this particular task. So and like on the one that I just showed you earlier, like I had the link to the and the video thumbnail for that Meet the Speakers that Tyler and I did. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click on approve here. And I actually have to switch over here real quick to the Token Summit ETH hot wallet. And this is one of the things that we will have to see what the workflow looks like. And we might want to incorporate that into some type of like weekly meeting where we'll be together as far as approving the transactions. And one of the things that's really fabulous, I would recommend anybody that doesn't have the Gnosis Safe that is getting added to this to have the Gnosis Safe mobile wallet. It's very fabulous. It's literally like click a button. I think I helped. Didn't we help you get that set up, Amy, there for the retoken safes? Is Amy still on here? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that we helped her get that set up, and that's another thing that we'll be doing on Sunday. So that will be a fabulous live stream on Sunday where we'll actually be doing the retoken transfer. And this is, of course, assuming that this proposal passes, which I'm pretty sure that it will, because we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, I believe. So here's this. Oh, I spent all that time scrolling through this list of excessive. Here we go. Copy password. So going to the bounty board here, I've got that on the clipboard, and we're going to just go here to pay, and then it opens up the approval, and I'm going to throttle up to high here because Matic is so affordable. 10,000 TS DAO. And there, that's, you can see it goes to processing payment, and that will be paid out here momentarily. So let's get back to creating this snapshot proposal. So thanks again, Blurs, for engaging us here on the live stream too with the demonstration. All right, so let's get back to Notion. So one of the things that's really cool about Notion is it allows like Markdown, which is the copy and paste to make it look nice like this. Like when I say nice, this is a heading one, this is a heading 2. And when I'm talking about that, that's these guys right here, which gives you a more cleaner formatting on that. So one of the things that's fabulous about Notion is that you can actually do an export here, and it allows to export in Markdown and CSV. So we're actually just going to export this because that will give us an easy file, the Markdown file that we can copy and paste into the Discord. And I'm going to save that into my week folder here for this project. And let's just navigate over there real quick. And I am on a Mac, so bring over this window. And this is what I just exported, a zip file, and opening up the zip. And here is our Markdown file that was just created. And this is what we want to, again, copy and paste. The only thing that we don't want is for some reason, I don't know why that it exports this in this manner here. And I don't know how easy that you can see this, but it's got anonymous. I'm just going to take this out right here. And this is what we need. That's got the title. I just won't paste it in. So let's actually just go over here to our snapshot, and we're going to do a new proposal. And this is where we're going to do the title of it right here. Just paste this in, and here's where you paste in the details, and here's all the Markdown language there. And then you click on it. You can preview this because it doesn't give you a nice little preview button, but there's a preview, the little eye up here. So this is what it looks like. We're just going to double check to see how this pasted in. And it looks good there. So here's our vote options, and this is something that we need to paste in here. So, and then we're going to do and I don't know if I actually did that on the, okay, so I got my settings. So we're going to do single choice voting, and we've been playing around a little bit with these as far as right now, single choice voting that's the most basic one because we're just doing yes or no on this. Everybody that is on this list agreed that they would like to be on the list, and we like the 5 out of 8 on the policy. So select the start date. We're going to do this like it's almost 6 Mountain Time, so we'll just do this here 1800, and then we're going to want to end this here. Let's end this on Sunday. We've got our working group starting at 1 Mountain, which is 3 Eastern. So let's make this 1:30, and that will give people a little bit of opportunity. We could do an initial call to action on this at the start of our working group to give people one last opportunity to vote on this proposal. And then during that working group, after we give people one last opportunity to vote, then we can actually go through, set up the Gnosis safe on our next working group, and do that transfer from the retoken on that Treasury distribution proposal that passed a week or 2 ago or whatever it was. So that's all that we've got here for the snapshot proposal. Let's go ahead and publish this and sign the transaction. All right, and here is the link for everybody. Go vote. It's available. So I'm going to go ahead and vote here because I sometimes forget. And this is an opportunity too. Whoever wants to create a POAP, I would really like to see us have a POAP. I don't know exactly what the process looks like over here for this one. I think that we can still get a POAP created for this. I think it's a manual process from what I understand as far as getting that uploaded, but we do have the snapshot plugin installed. So if somebody wants to take that as an action item, and this would be a good opportunity to use a bounty on the Dework bounty board. So two things there, creating the POAP and then finding out how to get that POAP added to, and I think it's some process on Discord.
Hey, can you do me a favor and check the voting proposals channel?
Yeah, let's go do that. Thanks for reminding me, Blurs. Look, there it is. A new proposal has been created on token summit.eth. So that's what the Halbot just did. And let's actually take a look over here on the Twitter for token summit DAO. And tweets and replies. So I don't know if it worked here.
Oh, I did not set up the Twitter yet.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no worries. All right, so we got that done. Go vote on that proposal, everybody. Let's get back to the agenda. So we went through that. Let me actually paste in the link here on this. Yes.
Hey, babe. I'm in here. I don't see a place to vote. Did you put in the yes, no?
Oh, I did. You've got to wait 5 minutes because I set the time at 6 Mountain, so it's still in a pending status.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. You can see here they've got this little green button. It'll come to active in a couple minutes, and if somebody reminds me and we have time, we can come back to this later. I'm going to go ahead here. And one of the things that is some nice functionality too, since this, like from a workflow standpoint in Notion, we don't really want to make any more edits to this. So one of the things that we can do is that we can actually lock the page here. And then it's got this little lockup here. I don't know if everybody has that capability because anyway, that's a longer story, just kind of pointing that out. So let's get back to our agenda here. Oh, there it was. So create the snapshot proposal, done. All right, so well, good job, everybody. That's another second snapshot proposal and a very important best practice for us, and looking forward to, go ahead.
By the way, since we're on the subject of snapshot proposals, one of the things that we would like to do is start doing more written content, Medium articles, maybe Mirror.xyz articles, things like that, and push out on different mediums. So one of the articles that we were thinking about writing was just a blog post that you could just kind of take our Genesis proposal and turn that into a blog or just other content about this. So I don't know if any of you guys are passionate about writing. If you would like to do that, let me know, or we can put up some bounties for doing that. But that is something that we want to prioritize, is turning the stuff that we're doing, putting color and context around it, turning it into articles, and then adding more articles so we can start a newsletter. And we're going to be gathering lots of emails through these virtual summits. I don't just want to let them go to dust.
Yeah, absolutely. And we already do have a blog post bounty for proclaiming, and I'm going to change this just to National DAO Day, because there is an opportunity for us to submit in a national registry. Started doing a little bit of research and due diligence on that, because I think that will be a fun dynamic. And I think that may be one that is worthy enough to do on a segment itself, just kind of planting the seed a little bit. And when I'm saying a segment, it would probably only be like a 5, 10, 15-minute segment, but that one I think would be potentially so significant of just doing on its own, because the opportunity for us to truly grab National DAO Day for February the 22nd is, and I'm just talking out loud here, but we can take that thought offline. But this is, again, the bounty for this blog post that Tyler was talking about. And I will show again the content calendar over here, because this is where we're working on some workflow. And I would encourage everybody that if you have a content idea, feel free to create. I mean, we've got this idea, like it's super easy, like new status idea, assign yourself as like and a contributor, you know, and start playing around with I have a content idea. I mean, and that's how easy it is to get added. And then like, you know, because then somebody else, you know, we could start asynchronously working on this as a team to become more prolific content creators. Content Inc., quick plug for that book. It's probably one that we will pipeline at some point during a book club. And I do want to plug our book club. This is a little bit of a tangent, but on Saturday morning, we have a book club at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know if we've got it on the Token Summit DAO calendar. Do you know if we do, Tyler?
I believe we do not. Let me, yeah, no, we don't. Let me go ahead and add that on.
Okay, cool. Because the format for that, and we just started last Saturday, and the replay is still available on Clubhouse, and that's the platform that we'll use at least to finish up this book. But the Infinite Machine, which is the story on Ethereum, and it's been absolutely fabulous. They're making that book into a movie. Camila Russo, highly encourage anybody. And the format is we just listened to the chapter during the social audio, and right now, like I said, it's on Clubhouse. And then we discuss that with friends. It's a great way to start off the weekend, learn something new, have great conversations, and then, you know, we get to plug our projects in there because the DAO Hack is a sister DAO here. We decided to bring the DAO Hack within the Triple Win Foundation umbrella that Token Summit DAO is operating within. So anyway, getting back to our agenda here. So yeah, create some content. We're going to be getting a lot more aggressive on the content creation. So there was a little bit of talk already about the marketing options, and let me actually reprioritize this a little bit because let's see, the RafflePress WordPress plugin. We also have so right now what we're looking at here. So we do have working workflow where somebody can go to Token Summit, and I totally missed it, Blurs, during the last working group that you bought a gold ticket. That was fabulous. So here at tokentown.tokensummit.xyz, this is the page that we've got Retoken Token Town, where you can actually buy an NFT gold ticket or a basic ticket. And if you want to have a better understanding of what that looks like, you can go to as far as the breakdown on those tickets. And what I'm talking about the workflow is that during this process right now, we are not obtaining the registrant's email address. And that's an important component so that they can access the event there at hopin.com. And so that's one of the things I created over here on Unlock Protocol. And this is something too, created this thread collecting attendee information with WordPress plugin. So this is one of the things, again, this is the Unlock Protocol Discord server. I also created a bounty over here, this one that is open, Unlock Protocol. So this provides a little bit of an overview. Let me just read this here for everybody's benefit. We need to create the Unlock Protocol sales order workflow so that we, I think it should be when we obtain a new NFT ticket, so that we are capturing username and email address. And here's some technical details. And this is our working Unlock Protocol site. And then here is the page that I have referenced on the for the collecting attendee information. And it doesn't, if there's some mechanism for doing this within WordPress, it's not very clear. And Julian, the founder of Unlock Protocol, is so fabulous. I mean, look, it didn't even take like 20 minutes from when I created this, and that he responded here suggesting to create an issue. And then he also commented, I start to have the feeling that we'll do some more work on the WordPress plugin, getting a ton of people who are interested in using it right now. So maybe that's something we can bake in. So that being said, I don't know if we'll have that functionality. And again, if it's something that don't know how to do, it's not something that was very apparent to me. And I'm going to deprioritize the doing the issues here, because looking at our agenda, we have a lot of agenda and we're already more than halfway past our time. So let me actually move this one down the list. So, and we're kind of discussing the ticket sales onboarding workflow process right now. So that's an immediate need and opportunity, one that I prioritize so highly here on this bounty board, that we put 50,000 Token Summit DAO as the bounty. And this is one that could potentially even add like a Matic payment to as well. And that's one of the things when we were having the conversation with Lannis at Dework. Right now, there's not the technical capability of doing that within like having multiple payments, but an easy workaround is just to have 2 subtasks, and it looks like that you can pay out on a per subtask basis. So that's an easy workaround in this for potentially having multiple tokens for rewarding a bounty. Does that make sense as far as the need? One solution that I thought of, and this is something that I saw with onboarding a little bit with warp.bond. I was on one of their Twitter spaces a week or two ago, is RafflePress. Has anybody used RafflePress WordPress plugin? Seeing a nod heading from Blurs on the negative. So this is, again, something that I thought that we might incorporate, and the opportunity to like, to kind of create a process, because my expectation is that we can, and we'll talk about that here momentarily. But let's take the investigation of the RafflePress offline. And if anybody else, and I don't know how many people have experience with WordPress or WordPress plugins, but that's kind of what I'm thinking might be the easiest solution. And just to incorporate that again, like in the Token Town, and this is the vision for this, is that any partnered community would have the opportunity of having their own subdomain here, like as you can see, Token Town. So like we've got a Let Us Meet planned to bring the partnered community opportunity forward here with the White Hat DAO, and then we've got we're having multiple conversations with potential partnered communities, and that's something that we will only amplify here as we are getting closer and closer. But we're really wanting to, with the partnered communities, make this a done for them solution, because that's what one of the beliefs that we have is that if we make this super easy for them, it'll be easier for them to say yes to. So as we gain more experience with having those conversations, we'll share that with everybody, and so that it makes it easier for anybody else that wants to have those conversations. Do you have any thoughts to add on that, Tyler, or anybody else?
I love the feedback from, actually, I just want to go on a really quick tangent. My favorite thing about being in Web3, crypto, all these projects is I worked in corporate for decades, and trying to get anybody to do anything was filling out memos and meeting with your manager's manager and whatever. And just, it took so long to do anything. Here, we have an idea, and the founder of the company is like, that's great. Let's roll it out right now. Like, what do we need to do? Who's on board? I mean, this is so amazing. This space that we're in is just, it's fabulous. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and especially like Julian from Unlock Protocol, and this is one of the things that was very clear from my perspective, and then Chris just amplified that based upon his experience. And this is one of the things that I'm really looking forward to meeting the team. The Unlock team is going to be here in Denver for ETH Denver, and I did get that meetup booked. It looked like that whatever venue that they had at Eventbrite, that ticket already sold out. So there was a lot of interest from people that are coming to that. So that's one of the things too that's really fabulous from a timing standpoint. And I know that like especially Tyler, it's easy to like look at where we're at, but then like the exposure to the literally thousands. I think they're planning like 10,000 people, and I think that they had over 14,000 people that applied to come in person.
There's 10,000 people. There's 10,000 people registered for the live event. I don't know what that means in terms of who's going to be there on day one, but I did volunteer on day one, and they are rapid COVID testing everybody that comes in. So I've got 10,000 people in a hotel tent outside that I'm going to be helping shove through rapid COVID testing and try and get them scanned and in the door. So if any of you are people who pray, kindly throw one or two my way, because I think it's going to be a pretty busy day on Friday. But I'm planning on being out of pocket that whole day. I signed up to volunteer to scan and check people in and help direct them through the rapid COVID testing. So yeah, good times.
So we're going to quarantine you after that?
Well, I would hope that we're not going to turn up with too many negatives. I'm thinking that people who know that they're going to get tested are probably not going to come, but I just don't know how many people. I just don't have any idea how this is going to work, because I know where the hotel is, the venue, because we live here. There's not a lot of parking. There's not a lot of space around the hotel, so I'm not exactly sure where these 10,000 people who can't get into the hotel without a test outside are going to go. So it's lovely that they're providing this as a free service. Cool, great for public health. Go team. Not sure how the logistics are going to work, but we'll figure it out. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm going to check this box here, getting back to the agenda. Well, we could talk probably a whole hour about ETH Denver, and I just started going through myself and grabbing some of the interesting conversations for the schedule, and that's something that going to be connecting in person at the Cryptorado event tomorrow evening, and I'm sure that those conversations will be occurring there as well. And if get around to it, might come back to a local meetup group that we created as a component and eventual plans to move this virtual event format more towards a hybrid events format. We talked a little bit about that on our previous working group, and we will continue to talk about that because we believe that that is a very real need and opportunity, the opportunity of connecting with people locally, but then leveraging the power of this virtual event technology platform that we'll be utilizing for delivering this virtual event. So I moved this raffle press down to the next actions. So marketing automation options, started doing, like, one of the reasons we've been talking about using MailChimp for a while. We talked about this on our previous working group, started playing around a little bit about that here. And since talking about it, because this is one of the reasons that started playing a little bit around with it, this is our meetup group here this is functionally our first meetup group for within the 3Win DAO Meetup Pro network. Not going to really talk about that, but that's really a tool for scaling out meetup groups on a regional or global basis. But go ahead, Tyler.
Speaking of meetup groups, we got it. Jason and I got interviewed for a podcast called WAGMI, WGMI Community Podcast about Retoken and Token Town. And they introduced us to some of their teammates who run multiple meetups. One's in Austin, Texas. One is in New York City. And They're doing mostly virtual meetup events. They can be wherever, but they're interested in hosting us for a partnership. We actually have a couple of other groups that are interested in hosting us for partnerships. So one of the things that we're trying to make it a really easy done for you solution for these meetup groups. And we talked about last week that we were interested in hosting these in real life events. So I just want to let you guys know we did actually launch our first one here in town. We want to build that up. We would love for you guys to think about hosting them in your hometowns, because we think if we get a big enough presence on this, it'll make everything that we're doing in June just that much easier with that many more in real life communities.
Yeah, and thanks for that, because this is something that if everybody's available, and this is Mountain Time here, and I'll update that here later. Let me actually just do that real quick. This is one of the Discord hacks that's really fabulous. So this is Hammer Time, and this is an easy tool because, and I don't even know what this numerical number is called. I don't know if this is the Julian time or something like that. But like this, we've got this event here for that Tyler was talking about. And this is an opportunity too that we have, because I would really like to create a concise, more polished transition story as far as retoken, token town, token summit. And it's not really a transition, but it allows us to go and cover the important projects that are, that are important, the important projects: Retoken, the Real Estate DAO, Token Town, the HOA Destroyer, and now obviously bringing this virtual event format as just an overarching component of this unfolding strategy, Token Summit DAO, and just create a more compelling slide deck probably to elevate our professionalism, but just to allow us to potentially replicate this story in another manner, because that's one of the things that as word starts to get around as far as what we're doing and the approach that we're taking. And then one of the things that we're really excited about is our fractionalized real estate certificate program go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. While I'm thinking about this, Julie did a great job putting together the pitch point, or the PowerPoint for the pitch book. And I think that was before we had a bounty board. So can you just make yourself a note to make sure we get a bounty for her on that? Because that looked really great, and have been using that and the one pager. And Julie, to have a something else that we can just add to and tweak and whatever. So wanted to make sure that we get her token drop for that. I don't know if we already did that or not, but if we didn't, can you make sure we do that?
Yeah, for sure. And if you need any help with that, Julie, let us know, and we can figure out what a fair bounty is on that, because that's absolutely fabulous. And that's great work on that. So appreciate your efforts for sure on that. So getting back here, this message that I'm going to put on the live stream, Hammer Time. So I put in here the local time here, and then I just clicked on the little blue clipboard, and it provides this little bit of code. And what that does is it automatically converts it for anybody's local time. And you can see what that looks like. I just shared that in the live stream. I don't know exactly what that's going to do for the translation to the YouTube channel, but you can see what it looks like in the Discord channel there.
There's one thing about Hammer Time. Number one, we love it, but number two, it doesn't say this is 12 o'clock Mountain Time. So everybody says, hey, I see that this meeting's happening at noon. What time zone is that? And so you have to say it's actually happening in your local time. It looks a little bit different on Discord when you put it in, but it has been such a time saver of trying to get everybody to convert from UTC or to it's great. So yeah, but you just have to tell people that.
So we got off a little bit on a tangent there with the meetup group. And again, part of the reason that we were looking at MailChimp was because of the integration that they have. And I've not been super impressed with MailChimp with the integration enough where I started looking to see as far as other solutions. And one of the things that was a very important consideration. And let me actually go back to our token summit so that we can go to the hop-in dashboard over here. And I think that this is, I'm probably already logged in. Yeah, so here is our hop-in dashboard, and this is something that we need to get a plan in place so that we can work on getting this all finalized, because this is, again, where all the magic is going to be happening. And I don't know if anybody was able to participate in the Align Summit. It was hosted by Growmotely, and had the opportunity of making a little bit of a connection with the CEO there. I think her name is Sarah Hawley. And Growmotely, not going to go off on that tangent, but they provide information as far as for remote work, and DAOs are definitely an epitome of remote work, because we've got people all over the world connecting with us and contributing here on our projects, and we're just getting started. So hop in. What we're looking at here, and what I was wanting to show here is integrations, because that's what we're talking about here, is having an integration with some type of tool. And let me make this a little bit bigger. And if anybody wants, and I don't know how much of this that you can see, this is on our login page. And once we get, like right now, we can't add more teammates until we get our plan upgraded, and we're wanting to have that in place here fairly soon. But anyway, going back to the integrations, the one that's of specific interest right now is the marketing and automation. So ActiveCampaign and MailChimp are the two integrations that are currently available for Hopin. So that makes it really easy for us to shortlist. And MailChimp, we already have an account at 3Win DAO. And that's one of the things that being very intentional about, like some this tooling that we're putting in place here, putting that in place so that it can support some additional organizations that we already have on the 3Win DAO, very rudimentary roadmap, if you will. It was a Figma that I created back in November, and that's what happens as far as from a timing. It can't work on everything at once. So Token Summit DAO is the project of the hour, and wanting to put a framework in here that we can easily execute, repeat that on a regular basis, and have really three things. And this is three things that we'll continue to say in communications. We want it to be fun. We want it to be profitable, and we want it to be educational. And fun is the most important, because we believe if we make it fun, and we've got a very low cost here, 22 Matic, which Matic looks like it recovered very nicely back up to around $2. So that's approximately a $40, $45 ticket. And then the gold ticket is 88 Matic. And then on the profitable, we believe at that price point, if it's fun, people will come back. And then on the profitable, if we can't make an event, we don't want to host an event where it's costing us money. So the profitable aspect, and then educational, we provide all three of those, and we have an absolute home run. And those three things are easy to communicate, that resonates very clearly with people as well. So anyway, anybody that is interested in getting more involved on that, going to create an ActiveCampaign account and start exploring that, because need to get this stuff online here as soon as possible. And that's the thing that's really fabulous about like this, is it's all a work in progress. I mean, like the emails that we have today, we can continually add to that. And the other reason, again, that wanting to create some processes and some workflow, like we've got this meetup group, and like going back to that, we literally created this meetup group this weekend. We hosted our very first in-person event. When was that, Tyler? What day? It was just a couple days. Go ahead.
I think it was Tuesday, maybe. No, it was Sunday. No, it was Sunday, because Sunday night.
Yep. Yeah, not too long after our working group. Now that I remember that, so we hosted our. We didn't have anybody show up, but we literally created that event at the 11th hour. But we're going to be connecting with some people at the Crypto Rado event tomorrow at Seed Stack Brewery. But as you can see, we've already had 30 people that have joined this because there's so much interest in Web3, DAOs, NFTs, and the metaverse. And we're going to be creating a token to represent this meetup group. And that's one of the things that will also, as a component of a marketing strategy for Token Summit DAO, be reaching out to other meetup groups, and we'll have more experience as far as leaning into that strategy, and we'll share with the team as far as what's working, what's not working, what we can do better at. So looking forward to having more of those conversations. So any thoughts as far as the active campaign or MailChimp? And again, if people want to get more involved in those conversations, don't want to spend any more time than that here on this working group right now. So moving down the list, Twitter Spaces for tomorrow. Let's take a look at the calendar. This is something that we put on our calendar when we had our working group on Sunday. This isn't something that we've got scheduled yet. What is everybody's thoughts on the Twitter Spaces?
The first one went really well. It was Amy, Julie, Teresa, who else from our community was there? Do you remember? I forgot to take a screenshot.
Dax was there.
Oh yeah, Dax was there. Yeah, so if you were there and I forgot to mention you. Yeah, Teresa. Yeah, so it was good to have a big representation from our team. I think the three most exciting things were several people immediately joined our Discord right after that. So it wasn't just that they followed us, they wanted to jump in and essentially get involved. Two, we got our fourth Nigerian. So our first global expansion was supposed to be Token Town Perth. It might be Token Town Lagos now because we keep bringing in more folks from Nigeria. So that's super fun and exciting. And then the third thing is it was just really great to have a community where we can promote to a different audience, and Twitter is so much the language of crypto. To be able to say to these guys, it's just fun to be able to connect with people all over the place. I've been reaching out to people on Discord, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on different things. I don't know that Facebook's going to be a great channel, and we ended up dropping our Twitch channel to push to 2 different LinkedIns because that would just seem like we're just not getting much engagement on Twitch, but the other channels are going really well. So as far as rewinding 1 second on the meetup groups, if somebody can take an action item and create a bounty on this, making a list of big active meetup groups that have some general connection to what we're doing. They can be anywhere in the country because it's a virtual event, but want to reach out to as many of these guys as we can. A lot of the challenge with meetup groups is they don't necessarily have a revenue strategy either. It's meetups actually cost money to host. I think the pro account's $30 a month, and then that doesn't include renting rooms and anything else you might need to do to actually put on the meetup. So usually what people do is they'll just kind of eat the cost, and then they'll go to the venue and everybody's kind of buys their own food and drinks. But if you can have revenue coming in to a meetup group like you would as a partner community, that's really helpful. So if want to create a bounty on that and to start researching those people and then start reaching out to them, I think that'd be a really great partnership.
Yeah, and the thought on the bounty, something like that, and that we can talk a little bit more about that offline, but that's one that's a little bit harder to do potentially. But I think never mind. It wouldn't be that. But I just created this next action, start compiling, or maybe just compile crypto blockchain meetup groups within BizDev database on Notion. And I link that here. the biz dev, this is something that we agreed to not have public for reasons, because partnerships that are in conversation until it's agreed upon, don't want to send the wrong message. Because anyway, that was something that we equivocally agreed upon, but did link that here. And if you're interested in working with the compilation on that, catch up with myself or Tyler, and we'll work on getting an easy workflow so that we can get that added within that BizDev database here on Notion. And again, really excited as far as the tooling. We're putting a lot of tooling in place in a very short period of time here. So thanks everybody for hanging with us as far as that goes. And we'll try to make it as easy as possible to get up to speed. And that's one of the reasons that we love this format, because we can walk through the process here. It's good for us, and then good for everybody. So coming back to the Twitter Spaces, though, I don't feel that we really answered whether we got that done. I would really like, and I don't know if we have time to put this in place, but my understanding is with the Twitter Space and with the DGen POAP bot, and I don't know exactly how that you get those two things working here, but I would really like that to be a component within our next Twitter Space. And the thoughts are, so anyway, are we going to have one tomorrow or not? Let's just make a decision here.
Yeah, I think we should. We just looking at the calendar here, we have a call with the guy from Meritverse.xyz. So we're going to ask him if that could be a live stream. We just really like the demonstration on that. And yeah, let's do it. We'll confirm the time. It's either going to be 10 or 12:30. I need to find out if we've got another call, or sorry, it's going to be at either noon or 2:30 Eastern. We've got another call that I need to figure out, but yeah, let's do a Twitter Space tomorrow.
And that's something that would like, again, to create the workflow for POAP distribution on the Twitter Space. And the thing about this, like if we're gonna do the POAP distribution, we really need to get the POAP and the event created so that we can have that available, because I think that that's a fairly timely aspect. And then it should be a solid opportunity for us to intentionally pull people from Twitter into our Discord environment where we have a little bit more control of the process. And I do want to go off on this tangent a little bit here right now, because one of the opportunities, and I haven't been able to think a whole lot of it about myself yet, but here on our Dework page, and we've got the boards that are specifically related to the project. But what I was thinking is that we may have an opportunity to create some potential DAO onboarding workflow here. And I don't know exactly what that would look like. And that was one of the questions that I asked Launis the other day on the live stream, if he had any good case studies as far as how other DAOs may be utilizing their bounty board as a inflow onboarding opportunity for people that are looking to acquire tokens by contributing efforts to organizations such as ourselves. So just planting that seed for people to think about. That's something that will come up again on, and I don't know if it'll really make sense here prior to our DAO day to have that, but just wanting to, again, plant that seed so that people can think about, because making the onboarding much better into the Web3 and DAO ecosystem, that is an ongoing conversation that almost every DAO is having. Would you agree with that, Tyler?
Yeah, and one of the things that is so crazy is how much traffic. I mean, our little server for Token Summit had like under 20 people, and just the marketing that we're starting to do, we're getting in, 5 to 10 new people a day just wandering in. They're not invitations, they're just random people. So capturing people right away, connecting with them, engaging them, making sure that they can participate is really huge, because they wander out as soon as they wander in. So just getting people, grabbing them, engaging them. We're getting in touch with some really interesting people, and getting an onboarding thing will just make that even better.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things too, that again, we'll be having a lot more conversations in all of the DAOs that we're involved in as far as onboarding here in 2022. So anyway, getting back to our agenda here. So we're doing the Twitter space for tomorrow. I'll get that scheduled, and I'll create the workflow for POAP distribution on the Twitter spaces with Degen bot. And I'll create a bounty for several of these things here tomorrow. So one of the things too, since we're talking about the Twitter spaces, and this is will be the second one that we did, do we want to do any type of bounty for that, or do we want to just factor that into Coordinate from a participation standpoint and Coordinate?
You mean as far as participating in the Twitter space?
Yeah.
That's just throwing in Coordinate. I mean, one of the things that I want to do with bounties is just make them more task deliverable. And I think participation is great, is valuable, but let's just throw that in Coordinate.
Okay, cool. So we'll use Coordinate for rewards, compensation for participation. Okay, and then discuss partnered community onboarding process. And this is an immediate opportunity that we have, like with Retoken. Retoken is not only a sponsored community, but as you, and I think I left it right here. So this is the page, and when I'm talking about like having a process, just making it, again, the goal is to make this as much as done for the partnered community as possible. And like we would really like to see the partnered community creating their own NFT ticketed or NFT tickets, but with DAO Day being less than 2 weeks away, it might be easy for somebody to say, yeah, just replace your Retoken and Token Town logo, slap our logo on there, and that's good enough. And that would be very easy for us to do and to set up this page for them. And I mean, I think, go ahead, Tyler.
I don't think the art itself lives on the blockchain. It's just a smart contract. So the other thing is, if people want the functionality of the lock and then swap out the artwork later for some cool collectible NFT, I mean, I think that's possible too, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was one of the things that Julian discussed here today. And that's one of the things, I don't know, we probably won't get into that here during DAO Day on February the 22nd, but with having our 3-day virtual summit coming up in June, on June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd for Token Summit 622. I'm sure that that's something that we'll probably talk about as far as like best practices for NFT storage, because I think a lot of NFT collections probably aren't following what a lot of knowledgeable people would say is best practices. So that's a longer conversation, like I said, for another day that we won't even get into, I'm sure, here for upcoming DAO Day. But going back here to our agenda, I think the opportunity is to create, and whether it's a 30-minute or a 60-minute slice of time, and thinking more as like an AMA style format where we would talk about Token Summit, DAO Day 22222 with the partnered community, and then obviously follow use like the pitch deck, for example, that Julie created for us with the partnered community, and then provide the partnered community or the potential partnered community any opportunity to ask some questions, and then allow that partnered community to make a decision, yes or no, as far as wanting to be a partnered community. And then if the answer is yes, then we could proceed with getting the locks created, the unlock protocol smart contracts, which unlock language is a lock, and then the NFT is the key to that lock, and the lock behind that is the replay access for all this content on DAO Day. So that's kind of the high level process that we're looking at, and that's something that we're working on getting that process identified, and it will be an ongoing work in progress as we go through this process with some other partnered communities. And I think that we should probably put this on the calendar here, and I'll talk to Tyler as far as when that should be, but doing that, walking through the retoken community. And then like one of the opportunities of using this new marketing automation software that we're talking about creating. I think we have approximately 60 email addresses in the retoken emailing list, and that would be a great opportunity to import those into this marketing automation software, and then, you know, give people the opportunity if they wanted to opt out or whatever, but then also create another opportunity to promote this event. And then again, just utilize the marketing automation tools that we're evaluating, ActiveCampaign and MailChimp. And we'll be putting the evaluation on those on the fast track. I don't know what, I think that MailChimp has a fairly decent low cost component for small businesses such as ourselves. I don't know what the monthly reoccurring or annual reoccurring cost dynamic looks like for ActiveCampaign, but we'll come fairly quickly to a decision matrix. And that's one of the things, wanting a lot of those efforts here to occur between now and Sunday. I would really feel a lot better as far as being able to say, hey, we did this for our evaluation. This is what we like, what we don't like, and here's our recommendation, and put that forward for a decision. And again, my expectations, it'll probably be a fairly small group of people interested in having those conversations. And if you are, feel free to reach out and engage. But most of that will be happening in you know, just very, very ad hoc. So again, be sure that you reach out and express interest so that it can loop you into those conversations. Otherwise, that'll probably be me doing most of the heavy lifting on the marketing tools piece for this where we're at right now. So does anybody have any thoughts on that before we cross that topic off of our list here for tonight?
I think that's great.
All right, well, I already had it crossed off. Look, and I just discussed the partnered community onboarding process as well. And then, so before we go here, as far as creating the GitHub issue for this unlock protocol, what other things, Tyler, that you were wanting to talk about that we haven't yet here tonight?
I think the biggest thing is just anybody that is involved in multiple communities that's willing to introduce us to different people. We've been reaching out, but I know a lot of you guys are involved in a lot of different projects. And that's just it. I just wanted to ask you, if you have connections you're willing to make, please make them right away, because of the time crunch. But yeah, everything else that I want to talk about, we already did.
So I'm adding the decision here, start the trial for ActiveCampaign. Goal is to have a decision by Sunday for next working group, MailChimp versus ActiveCampaign. All right. And what other decisions, do we have any other decisions that we identified that I haven't captured? We already talked about the Twitter space, and that's captured in the next actions. So
yeah, we'll send out a sash, and I apologize for so much of the last minute stuff that's been happening. We're just drinking from a fire hose, and all of a sudden it was 3 o'clock and the meeting starting at 5, and we're kind of looking at each other like, did you schedule it? No, did you schedule it? So anyway, so thank you guys for subscribing to the Google Calendar and just knowing that even when we don't schedule stuff, we're ready to go on it. So big thank you for that. We're going to try and get stuff booked a little bit more in advance, but if you don't subscribe to our Google Calendar, that's the best place to get this stuff, because we always put it on Google even when we don't put it on set.
Yeah, and I moved that last agenda topic to a next action, because I would prefer just to take that offline, because it's not something that I've done, and I'm sure that we'll be doing more GitHub stuff in the coming weeks and months. We've done some stuff on Retoken, but not a whole lot, but that's something that, as we are best practices, find, implement, evaluate, and refine. So anyway, any final thoughts before we call this? We've got 15 minutes left, but I feel really good as far as all that we went through here tonight. We had a long list of agenda, did several things, did some bounties, we did a snapshot proposal, discussed various things, and then we've got our decisions and next actions identified. But any final thoughts from anybody else here tonight?
Hi, Jason. I think I saw at White Hat DAO that they're going to talk about being either sponsor, I think, or partnered sponsor this Sunday. So I'm going to attend that meeting.
Yeah, awesome. And we do have, we added you, Amy, and Julie. And did that actually get on the calendar at White Hat DAO, or is it, because we created a Let Us Meet, and I don't know if that got scheduled yet or not?
I thought I saw that they've decided to do it on Sunday, but you can look at their events. I might be wrong.
Let me make sure. I'll add that.
I have enough days to check it out, but I thought
yeah, that's awesome. So thanks for letting us know, and also thanks, Julie, for letting us know Snapshot was live. I was hoping to be the first voter, and you beat me to it. So good job staying on top of that. It's fantastic. So everybody go vote. By the way, there is. I love all the participation. We had something like 70% or 80% of our eligible voters vote on our Genesis proposal, and we're in other DAOs where the voters are under 1% of the eligible voters. So it's super exciting to be in this engaged of a community where everybody votes on stuff. So make sure you go vote. And if you have any problems with that, let us know. We also want to make sure that you join the Token Summit DAO snapshot community so you get into all those votes.
Yes. Go vote, go vote, go vote on the snapshot proposal. And again, if somebody wants to make a POAP for this one or the other one, these are both milestones. I don't think that we're going to want to have a POAP necessarily for every snapshot proposal, but if the community wants to, I'm not going to say no, because I do love POAPs as much as everybody else. But definitely for the Genesis proposal, would like to see a POAP, and then this one where we're putting in our multi-signosis safe for treasury management for sure. So go ahead, Tyler.
Jay-Z, I was going to say, Jay-Z, I don't know if your audio is still off, but are you able to? I love your POAPs. I think they're just really fun and cool. Do you have any time to design a special Genesis proposal, and not NFT, Genesis proposal POAP for that, so we can get that issue? All right, well, we'll follow up with him later. I'm not sure if he's available or not, but anyway, yeah.
What was the question, so I can follow up with him?
Oh yeah, we just love his design. We think his work is just beautiful. So wanted to see if he had, because I know he's on some other projects right now also, was asking if he had time to design a special, different looking, I voted on the Genesis proposal POAP for this one, and then we can drop that to everybody to vote on that first one.
Okay, I'll back channel him because he normally responds to my DMs, so I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Amy, for taking care of that.
What is the date on the Genesis proposal again? What date do you want to put it on?
It ended on February the 4th.
Okay, okay, I'll take.
I want to make a really bad Star Wars joke, like Feb the 4th be with you, but that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
And I don't even know if it necessarily needs to have a date on the POAP itself. Just, you know, the TSIP1 Genesis proposal, season 0, and season 0 would be optional. You know, TSIP1 is the most important thing, I think, as far as the signifying, you know, and the little snapshot lightning bolt might be cool, but you know, I'm not super creative on stuff like that. And
we just want some basic information and then the hashtag. That's it. And other than that, whatever he thinks would look good from a design standpoint.
Indeed. So anyway, anybody else final thoughts before we call it a good evening here on Wednesday, February the 9th, as we are quickly approaching DAO Day 2/22/22 on February the 22nd. So very, very excited. This has been hosting a virtual summit has been something that has been on as we mentioned on the Twitter space, something that has been on my radar. Oh, and I actually have my funnel hacking, like die-hard funnel hackers. I don't know how well you can see it here. Let me lift up my shirt here. So this is where I got the idea originally implanted in my brain for hosting a virtual event. And that was, when was that, Tyler? 2019 when I went to Funnel Hacking Live, or 2018?
I think it was 2018, and fun story about that. We were in Chicago in the middle of a nor'easter blizzard, and we had tickets to this conference in Miami Beach. And so as we're jetting out of like -17-degree Chicago, landing in Miami Beach, sitting on a balcony with palm trees and having brunch, reading this article about how it was colder in Chicago that day than it was on Mars, and we just felt really great about our life choices. So that was the beginning of this fabulous conference. I think that was probably the beginning of this whole long, crazy journey was that. So just big moment in our relationship and kind of in our business life.
Yeah, Grant Cardone 10X conference in Miami, where he parachuted into the baseball stadium where the Marlins play, was absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. And that guy I think he's pushing 60, and I think he hurt his knee or he hurt his back or something. And they had to delay the start of the conference because 60-year-olds don't always do the best jumping out of like parachuting in the stadium. So that was pretty magical.
Amazing. He is pretty fit though for how active he is in all the things.
True.
All righty. Well, unless anybody else has any final thoughts to bring us to a close here, we will call that one a good day and good evening for everybody here tonight.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Okay,
See you, Julie. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jay-Z. Thanks, Rosetta.